Hello everyone, welcome to yet another important video on in Tableau interview questions. And in today's video, we are going to talk about TCS. Okay, so again, let us thank our subscriber who has shared us this question so that it can be of help to others who are preparing. Welcome, guys. This is Rahul Pawar. I hope you guys are preparing well for your upcoming interviews because I am seeing a little pickup in the momentum and we are getting calls from recruiters. We are getting notifications from Naukri and all. So let us get started without wasting much time. And if you're attending interviews, do share me your questions so that I can make a video and share it across so that it can help others who are preparing. So the first question that was asked is explain about yourself. So this question we are talking from like say last 2 years. So in this, so this is the best case for you. Okay, to sell yourself. I want you to talk about all the exposure you had in your projects. It need not be Tableau specific, right? So what the interviewer or recruiter is interested in knowing is what is your learning or take away from that. So that point you have to focus. Like say some projects might be easy, some projects might be tough. In some projects, the design part would be tough. In some projects the technical part would be tough. In some projects, SQL part would be tough. What did you learn from that? So in some projects we will take time management issue. Like say some want delivery in a quick or a short time. So they'll give you maybe in a week time to deliver everything. So how did you manage that situation? In some projects, maybe a design part might be, critical. How did you manage that? In some project, requirement might not be, easy. How did you manage that? Like that. In some project, the data part might not be, good where you have to put in a lot of your effort to clean your data so that you can use it for a Tableau. So all of such things that are learning or you're learning from the projects, you have to talk about that. You have to sell yourself, like say what kind of projects you have, what kind of projects you have implemented, what kind of clients you have worked with. Okay, so what is your current role in the project? So I want you to talk about all of this and explain yourself in a very better way. So you have to tell like how many, like what is the experience you are getting, what is the pros, that you have, or and also talk about that. Prepare a story for yourself. Keep refining that, keep churning it because as we are progressing, we cannot give the same answer that we used to give 3 months back or 6 months back. We need to add some addition to that, right? So or we need to optimize that because everyone is giving the same answer. We need a better answer so that he can judge better. So spend maximum time for this so that you have the best answer in the industry. You can take the help of ChatGPT. Whatever the answer that you have prepared for yourself, ask ChatGPT to optimize that. You will get a better format. You can use that, in multiple ways. So that's about the first question. Explain about yourself. Next is describe your current project. Now, again, this is very, very, very important. Okay. So anyone who is currently working, maybe for them, it will be very easy to tell, what they have done and all. So what you need to talk about here is like say again, what is your current role? Who is your current client? What is your project expectation? What is the problem you or client is facing? And what is expected from the dashboards we are preparing. So you need to talk about all of this in the interview. Like say, always, whenever you are creating a dashboard, a new dashboard from the scratch, always ask the client like what is the problem he is facing, or what is that you are trying to achieve with that implementation. What are the efforts that are going waste, or how much of time you are saving, how much of revenue is it getting. So you need to be aware of this kind of things. Okay, then only you will be a better developer. Okay, so after knowing this, you can talk about what kind of metrics you have created, your dashboard design. So all of this should help you in giving a better answer. Okay, for this question, very important. Okay, so based on how you are answering this question, your next question will come on that. So be prepared. Okay, so give a very good answer. Again, you can prepare yourself on this. Okay, if you need any help on this, you can write to me or email me. We can connect and discuss, and we can fine tune if it required. We can also connect on about yourself, and we can fine tune it whatever the you know we need according to your experience. Because for developers it is different, for leads it is different, for senior developers it is different, for interns it is different, right? So as we go up the ladder, we have to improve or optimize what we are telling. Okay, so if you need any help, you can definitely reach out to me or email me. We can definitely connect and discuss on that. Next is, what benefit client is getting from your project. Same like I said, whatever the problem we are solving with the dashboard, we can talk about that in this. Okay, who decides KPIs of your project? Okay, so KPIs means what are the key performance indicators or key metrics that you are defining in your project. Who see based on the requirement that we get from the client. So generally, client will come back and say that okay, they need YTD or PYTD. Based on that, we need to create our calculations and all. So who decides? We get the requirement from the client. Again, whoever is the senior no person in your project, it can be your lead and all, who based on that they will decide like say okay, based on that we need to create this matrix and we need to create. Simple. Okay, so it is client who gives us the requirement, and it is the developer who builds according to the requirement of the client. So that is how the answer is. Okay, so you can tell, we got the requirement from the client that they were looking for the current year sales and their previous year sales, and based on that we have created this metric. So you can tell how or what you have done based on this. Okay, so client will not tell that okay, they need uh, current year till date, they will tell previous year till date. No, they will use a layman term like how I am talking. So very general English, they'll try to express what their problem is. Based on that, you have to identify what is that we need to do and how is that we need to do. Okay, difference between filters and parameters, I think this many of us know. Filters are static in nature, right? So if I'm trying to find out top 10, bottom 10, or if I'm trying to pass any value and all, so they are like kind of static. I want to pass values at a runtime, like say top 10 instead of that 10 which is static. I want to give it at a runtime. We can use parameters. So there are many use cases of parameters that we can do, right? So I think I have created multiple parameter videos on parameters. Dedicated videos are there. You can try to leverage that and talk about that. In every project that we do, there is a situation or there will be a situation where you have implemented a parameter to answer your questions. So sheet swapping we can use, custom calculations we can use, like say with a drop down I need dynamic calculations, we need dynamic view we can create, you know uh, parameter actions we can use, set actions we can use. So you can talk about those in this. Okay, so joins versus relationship. Why use relationship instead of joins? See, relationship is again a very powerful concept that was introduced in Tableau very recently. Okay, so it's not relationship again. This relationship is very effective compared to your joins. Joins are our traditional methods of joining data from multiple tables and all. right? So but this relationship is like modern method of joining the data. So this gives us the flexibility, to get the right data. This gives us the flexibility of improving the performance, because relationships are always better compared to joins. So ideally what we do in a real time, or what is it recommended from Tableau, is if at all you have multiple tables in place, try to do all of that heavy load at a database level. Okay, because Tableau is meant for your visualization purpose. It is not an ETL application which can handle your joins and all. So try to avoid, the our first approach would be to avoid that heavy load of operations where you are joining from multiple tables and then you are getting the results. So try to avoid that. Either you create a custom SQL or try to create a view on top of that, and then use the final output in Tableau. So first is database. Okay, if that is not possible, maybe you can use a custom SQL to get what you need, you know and then maybe the final approach, maybe you can come into Tableau and you can create a join or a relationship based on what we need. So mostly, if you're implementing a project now, chances are that you will use relationship more than joins. Okay, but this priority you can always remember, and you can suggest whoever is asking. Okay, so like say you have 5 to 6 tables and the volume is very huge. So in that situation, you are using joins, it will definitely reduce the performance of your dashboard, so it is not recommended. Okay, so we will ask, okay, is it not possible to create a view on top of that view? You can use it. So again, we can optimize that. Even if that is not possible, we can use custom SQL to customize the data that we want using a SQL and bring in everything that we need, and we can use that again in Tableau. Again, if that is also not possible, then you can use this joins or relationship. Okay, so remember this again, it is a very important, not only in this interview, any interview you go, you might get a similar question related to joins versus relationship. What is Tableau repository and have you used it? Give example. So what is repository? Repository is a location where you have stored all the important information related to Tableau. So once you install Tableau, under your My Documents, if you go, so let me open under My Documents here, you'll find a folder called as My Tableau Repository. So this is the repository here. Okay, so these are the default folders that will get created, and it will be stored any connector information you want, data sources that you are using, extensions if you are using in your project, log files, your shapes, if you are using custom shapes or custom colors, you can bring that, and you can save it in this location. Like I have created a separate folder called as My Images, and these are custom images that I have downloaded from Google just for practice purpose. So you can talk about how you have used this in your project, if at all. Okay, so that's about repository. Again, I think we should be able to answer this. How to resolve a calculation field error of aggregation and non-aggregated mix. So this is again one common area, like I have said in multiple videos. Whenever we are trying to write a calculation, okay, important part. Whenever we are trying to write a calculation, first thing is it should be of same data type. So you will ensure that we are trying to compare to a similar data type, like say string versus string, date versus date, integer versus integer, and all. So that will be an easy approach or easy way to solve. Second is aggregation should also be same. Like say we are trying to compare sum of sales, and in one place you are using sum of sales and in other places you are using only sales. So that is a mismatch in the aggregation, so that Tableau will throw you error here. So we need to fix our aggregation. So either what we can do in this situation, we can either bring all the calculation at the same level of aggregation to fix that, or if that is not getting fixed, we can also use ATTR to fix the calculation at least. Okay, so remember this part. Okay, so your aggregations should always be at the same level, and your data type should also be at the same level, so that you don't get this type of errors. Okay. Next is write a calculated field for your current year till date and previous year till date calculation. Again, like I always say, focus more on scenarios, because you know now you are attending face to face interviews. Okay. So maybe your first round will be a telephonic, but second round they'll ask you to come to office, and then when you go to office, they will share you know their laptop, or even if you are in a what you call telephonic round, they might share the screen and ask you to do, or they will ask you to write it in your chat box and print it. So in that situation we should be able to solve this. So I'm just taking my order date like I have always done. I'm trying to build my logic. So for that, first thing is you should know how I need to build my view, so that I can calculate if my calculation is working correct or not. Okay. So what is our current year till date calculation means? In current year, whatever the sales I have till date, which means we are in May, right? So May 29. So we need all sales in current year till May, right? So January we should get, February we should get, March we should get, April we should get, May we should get. So we need to write a logic. Now let us try to build our logic. So I'm writing CYTD. So always build step by step. You don't need to hurry and write everything in a single statement. If you are a pro, you can do that. But if you are in a learning stage, try to do brick by brick. So what is the first condition here? So I'm writing current year sales. Okay. So first thing is, what do we need? We need current year. So I'm writing first step, current year we need. And the second step, what we need? We need all months in current year which are less than today, right? Now, first thing I'm trying to write. So year of order date is equal to year of today I am using. So your today is your base function that we can use. So when we are using this today, by with the use of this, we will get current year and current date. So again, I'm writing here today will give today's date, simple, right? So in today's date means what? 29/5/2024. So we will get today's date, we will get current year, we will get current month. So all the date parts we got. So we got date, month and year, all we got. Now when I am doing this, year of order date is equal to year of today. So what is the data type here? Can you guys guess? You can comment in the comment section. Okay. Now this is the first condition I'm trying to write. Okay. So we got a Boolean statement because it is trying to match the year in this to today 24. So it will check today is there or not. So let us try to bring it right next to it. So everywhere it is false, you see here. Only in this case it is true, because 24. Now we got our current year. Now when this year is matching, I want a sales. Simple. Okay. So I'm using a if statement. If my year of order date is equal to year of today, then what? Then give me sales. I'm ending it. Okay. Now observe here, it is not aggregated. Okay. So I can aggregate within the calculation as well. Something like this, sum of this. Click on apply. Okay, now because aggregation changed, it is changing. I am taking CYTD, and if I try to bring it here, we got sales for all the months. See here, it is almost the same. It is matching. So you can ignore the decimals here, but we got all of that, right? So January is there, February, March, November, all of that is there. But we need, so you might have a data. something like this. You might have a future data as well. We never know, right? So in real time, it can be different. Sometimes we might have, sometimes we might not have. So here we need all of those dates which are less than today. So I'm writing and uh, order date is less than or equal to today. Simple. Okay. So if I click on apply, you see we got all the sales till this. Now if I remove all of this, this is my current year sales. Okay. Now if at all you want to round it off and you don't need decimals, again you can do it on top of this, something like this, round off. I'm just removing this. If you need one decimal, put comma 1, we got 1. Or you can also click on this and format. There are multiple ways of doing that. Same like this, just do a -1 for this. You will get a previous year sales. Okay. So that is your current year and previous year sales that we can try to write and leverage. Again, I think I have created a dedicated video for all of this. Current year, previous year, your YOY, your week over week, your month over month. All of this are very important. Okay, so I've created a video. I'll try to paste the link in the description box. You can go and watch that. It is very important from developers perspective. Okay, so window function in Tableau and use or fit. Window function, like say here, if you go to Tableau and if you try to create a calculated field, here you have under this, if I search for window, we get some functions. So window average, window correction, correlation, uh, max, median, min, percentile, sum, all of this we have. So window means in a given window, like say here you will set up the values, like say offset values you will select, and based on that particular range, it will try to give you what is the maximum or minimum, like that. Okay, so we see here returns the maximum of the expression within the window. The window is defined as an offset from the current row. Like say from current row, you're defining the range of values that it has to be chosen, and within that, it will try to give you a very effective function that we can use. So if you need a dedicated video on window function, do let me know in the comment section. I'll try to create and talk about that. So next is, what is level of detail and exact need of level of detail. Level of detail is again a very powerful function that is available in Tableau. It allows us to control the aggregation at the granularity we need. Okay, very important. Okay, so we can get the data at the aggregate and the aggregation at the level we need. So we can use that to eliminate duplicates. We can use that in filter shelf. We can use it in a row shelf, wherever we want. There are multiple use cases of that. We can definitely use that. Okay, so major purpose is it refines your data and gives you a correct calculation or a correct aggregation. So very important again, and I think there is a dedicated video in our channel. Do It is a must watch video if you are attending for Tableau interviews. Okay, because I've covered almost like 10 to 12 use cases, different use cases possible. So, and there are the frequently asked questions as well. You can cover that. Again, I'll try to paste this link as well in the description. You can check up. Do you know about lookup function in Tableau? Lookup function, helps us in going to previous cell, like that. So it looks up like how we have in Excel, same method it will also go here. If I try to use lookup, so expression and offset. So and mostly it is like say it is used in your cross table calculations and cross tab reports. It is mostly used. Okay, so how many values do you want to go previous, like say here for lookup plus sum of profit plus 2. So shifting your cells from one to another. So how many cells you want to go back, come front, and also all of that we can use here. So example, if I try to take order date here, Okay, and maybe I'll put it like this. I'll just take a region here. Okay, and okay, I don't need this. And I'll take category here, and I'll take sales. Okay, now if I simply go here, go to table calculation and uh, percent difference if I'm trying to do, and if I try to find the calculation it is doing, paste it here. See, automatically it is using lookup function. See, sum of sales, your current sale minus your previous year, or it is shifting back to 1 here. To 22 minus 1 it is going, right? So which means it is shifting one cell up. So that's why we have -1 here. If you want to shift front, then it should be +1. So that's the purpose of lookup function. Next is how to get last refresh date. So again I think we can, if it is an extract, you can click on this and you can click on properties. If it is an extract, we can definitely click on this. So we can click on history. It will give us when was the last time it was refreshed and how many rows it refreshed. All that information you will get it here. Okay, so I'm just closing that, cancel. In how many days or week or sprint is conducted in your organization. So again, it depends on how your what kind of structure your organization is following. So mostly it should be month basis. Your scrum will be your sprint will be for 30 days. Okay, so in that 30 days or 20 days, it depends. Like say uh, on an average, I'm taking consider it as a 1 month, and in that 1 month, what are we trying to cover? Who on Jira, who assigns you the task? So mostly Scrum Master, whoever is leading that, he will assign you the task. You have to take care of that and you have to complete that. Okay, so if you find any issues, you have to raise out, talk about that in the call so that you can get the proper responses from all the teams involved in that. And you also need to tell if you are able to accomplish that in your current sprint, or you are facing any challenges in that. So you can talk about that in your regular meetings so that they are aware of what is going in and all. So latest version of Tableau used in your organization, which changes add and old and new. Again, this is a very generic question that is being asked. Okay, so latest version, it depends again from organization to organization. Some might be using 2022, some might be using 23, but latest version we have some which is about 2024.1. Okay, so you can talk about whatever the version that you are using, and always try to remember few you know uh, changes that your version has compared to your previous version. It is always handy. So I'm not telling that this type of question you will get it in every interview, but it is like there are chances that, but if you remember, it will always be handy. So with that said, I am ending my today's video. I hope you have learned something new. If it does, don't forget to mention in the comment section. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and have a good day.